Hey lovies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. But if you want to know more information about how I contour and highlight my face bead, then please keep on watching. Bye. I want this video to be a talk through, so if you can hear the rain, I am so sorry. I just really wanted to film this video for you guys. Honey, I've only applied a little bit of foundation on my face. I had moisturized, applied sunscreen, so now we're just going to get into the contour and highlight routine. So to start off the highlighting and contour process, I'm going to start by applying this foundation as a base for the concealer. I love using foundation as a base because it just gives me a more full coverage look. Concealer tends to move around very easily, so when I apply foundation as the base of my highlighter, it just stays on for longer and it looks flawless. And I'm going to use the same brush that I use to carve out my brows to just apply this product onto my under eyes. So I'm just going to look up and pack it underneath those eye bags, and then I drag and distribute that product evenly like that, and I go around my nose. Like, I'm sorry if I'm looking down, it's just that my mirror is here and I really want to do this as accurate as possible, so I apply a little bit on the brush and I just drag that product. As you can see, I'm going to apply most of the product towards the nose area, but as we drag that product out, I won't apply as much on the outer side. The most important thing with highlighting is to create triangles on your face. I prefer a triangle that goes like this. This is what I mean. Do you see that triangle? I'm gonna put a picture of the triangle, but I hope you can see that triangle we're gonna create here. And I really apply a generous amount of this foundation because it is a base. It will ensure that we don't use as much concealer because, as you know, concealer usually comes in a small package, so it finishes very quickly. But if I use a lot of this foundation, we won't need to use as much concealer. There we go. This just helps us draw more of the attention towards the inner part of my face and stop drawing as much attention to the outer parts, because if I was to drag this whole highlighter outward, my face would look more round and more full. As you can see, I already have a round face, so I'm trying to get it snatched and look more inwardly. But if you're someone who has a smaller face than me, then you might drag out this concealer or this foundation even more than I have. But if you have a round face like me, then you want to drag this concealer inwardly, not outwards. You're gonna make your face look more round and more big and more wide, unless that is the look you're going for. But for the most part, the purpose of highlighting and contour is to snatch and shape your face. Just apply it there. Apply to the under eyes first, and then drag that down. Create a triangle. Moving on to the rest of the face, I'm going to apply the foundation as well. And I apply a little bit on my chin. Because my chin is already very short, I want to open it up just to make sure that it blends with the rest of the face. So I won't apply a lot, but I will apply some on my chin and my nose bridge, just to prepare it for the nose contour, and also my forehead. Now I know I have a wide forehead, but I still want to bring in that contrast of colors, like that dark contour and the light highlighter. So I'm going to just make a little oval. I think it's a semi-oval, but I don't really like to draw that circle at the top, but you can if you want to. Actually, you know what, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show you that little half moon I drew on my forehead. This is how it looks. And this foundation trick is also so amazing because I also use foundation to carve out my brows, so it just blends in seamlessly with the whole face. But as you can see, this is the half moon I'm drawing. With contour and highlight, you'll realize that creating shapes on your face is the easiest way to get the most snatched look. As you can see, I have a very prominent mustache, and I've tried so many times to shave it. It just won't go away. And so I'm going to use this Maybelline Instant Age Eraser Concealer, I think. Girl, the words have wiped away. But it's in the shade Caramel. I'm going to be very generous with this because my mustache just likes popping out and I don't like her showing in my pictures. It's not cute. So you twist it and apply. I apply from my nose. As you know, girl, you want to blend out around your nose. Don't forget, because then you end up having cracks and it just doesn't look pretty. So make sure you apply near that nose, girl. And I'm going to drag it downwards towards my lip. You want to cover that whole mustache. As you can see, I have very big plump lips, so in order to emphasize them even more, I put highlighter around my lips. This is how we're looking with just a lighter shade of foundation. Now I'm going to move on to applying concealer. I'm going to use this LA Girl Pro Concealer. She is almost finished, but that's just how good this product is. I truly recommend it, and it's very affordable. So I'm going to apply a little bit to the inner corners of my eye. As I said, I want to draw more attention towards the nose area of my face just to brighten up those areas. I won't apply this concealer all the way. I'm also gonna carry it under my eyes because I do have fine lines under my eyes. But for the most part, I'm going to bring that attention towards the inner part. I'm going to put just a little bit on my forehead because I still want my forehead to have that beautiful contrast of shades. And that's it. I won't apply any to my chin. I want my chin to stand out, but not that much. And I won't apply it on my nose because it just looks more blended if I don't. But if you want a more snatched look, then I suggest you go with the lighter shade of concealer over your nose and over your chin. But for my face, this is what works the best. Usually after applying my highlighter or my concealer, I go in with foundation over it. I'm only going to blend out the foundation using a damp beauty sponge. Now I have blended out this foundation, but I'm going to blend out the harsh edges of the foundation that we have already applied as a highlighting base. So look at that. I'm only blending out the edges. Watch carefully. Just go around it. And basically, I'm blending in a tapping motion. I'm not going to rub this. You don't want to remove any product. Just tap continuously and it will blend out easily and smoothly. So you're basically tapping those edges. And by tapping those edges or blending this out, we're just creating a more flawless base overall. So this is what I love to do. So that's it. And while that concealer still sits on our face, I'm going to start contouring. So I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Espresso. Now, the shade you use to contour is obviously darker than your skin tone, but sometimes people tend to use a contour shade that is way darker than their skin tone, and that just creates grayish undertones on your face. This one just has that perfect undertone that clearly defines my face. It makes everything look beautiful. It blends so easily, so smoothly, so creamy, and that's the thing we're looking for in our contour and in our highlight. You want something or a product that blends in easily. You don't want to struggle because then you create blotchiness on your face, and you don't want that because that will not give you that flawless beat we're all looking for. But if you need a chart or a more in-depth tutorial about how to pick your perfect concealer or contour shade, please do comment down below if you have that recommendation. Just take a deep breath in and you will see the natural line of your cheekbones, and that is where you want to apply your contour. So let me show you once again. And that's it. You see? And I'm going to drag it up to my hairline because I like to blend in that contour with my hairline. And then I'm going to draw inward lines towards my face. This just creates that illusion of a snatched face. That works for me for my face shape. This is the method that works best to draw in that contour. And because I have a big forehead, I'm going to draw even longer lines here just to create an illusion of a smaller forehead. Contour is meant to create shadows on your face, just to create an illusion that certain parts of your face are smaller than the parts that you have highlighted. So I'm going to drag this downward. Breathe in. You see? So I prefer to contour my nose after I've blended out the highlighter. That just works for me. It's easier because when you apply your contour and your highlighter isn't blended, blending in the two with a beauty sponge just defeats the purpose of contouring. You want that contour to really hug your cheeks. That is how you know that you're getting that illusion of a snatched face. And that is why I tend to smile. And as you can see, that contour on my forehead, I blended into my hairline. And you just want to tap, you don't want to move the product around, just tap, tap, tap in. We're going to blend out this highlighter and this concealer finally, but you want to have a setting powder already handy. Simply because we don't want that concealer to crease, we want to set it after we blend it. So I'm going to use this side of my damp beauty sponge and blend from the chin first. And I won't really blend it out a lot because I still want it to be pigmented. If you're having trouble with blending out your foundation or your concealer, simply go with some setting spray, apply it to your damp beauty sponge and blend. And for my chin, I'm going to use this brush. It's a thick bristled brush. It's perfect for this. And I'm just going to tap, tap, tap in. And I don't set my forehead with any setting powder. It just looks more blended and better that way. Now, do you see that illusion I was talking about, like that contrast of colors? You still see that contour, but you still get the lightness of the foundation and the concealer. I'm going to blend out this mustache area. Remember, I'm trying to keep this part as pigmented as possible, which is why I'm going to blend it out last. And I'm just going to tap. Then after applying this compact powder, I'm going to go over this with a loose setting powder. I love this Makeup Revolution Banana Bake. Now I'm going to blend out my under eyes. I go one eye at a time. It's just easier to work that way. Tap in one place. That way you get the best coverage of your products. And there we go. Now we need to apply our setting powder. Tap. And then we can blend it. Blend it to your eye. If you're going to be applying eyeshadow, this is amazing. Now we're going to go in with the damp beauty sponge using the concealer side. Tap into that loose setting powder, blow it off, tap off any excess, look upwards and blend over that compact powder we have applied. So before we even bake, I'm going to do my nose contour. So I'm going to use this side of my damp sponge to just press into that loose setting powder and pack. As you can see, now we're baking. I'm going to use a flat foundation brush to just define that nose contour even more. So while this is baking, we're going to bronze the face. Tap off the excess and start bronzing right below that setting powder. And I'm going to apply a little bit on my forehead, not too much. I use two types of bronzers. And this is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Sculpt palette. Tap in and just go to the edges of my forehead. I just love this glow that it gives me. I only apply the shimmer bronzer on my forehead because that is where the light hits in the sun and it looks so beautiful, so golden. That melanin, girl, we are blessed. Okay, we are blessed. And now we can wipe away that excess powder that we have applied to base. Quick tip, if your setting powder is appearing blotchy, you want to go back in with your damp beauty sponge and just press that powder back into your skin. Just like that. Final touch, I'm going to use the same brush and just blend the contour. To finish off this look, I'm going to apply some blush. And I feel like everyone needs a brush like this. It just makes it easier to blend your setting powder and your bronzer together. And I'm just going to make sure that all those lines, all those colors are blending in and melting together in this beautiful fusion called the face. I'm so extra. Hey lovies, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. But without further ado, honey, stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay gorgeous. I love you and God loves you more. Bye.